Hey everybody, Edo here, and 2020 has been a crazy year. I mean, it has been challenging for everyone, especially challenging for a ton of families and folks. And so thinking through everything that's gone on and Pencil First Games and our titles, first and foremost, I just want to thank everyone for their support and care for Pencil First Games. All of our titles start at Kickstarter through backer support and move to retail, and we've seen a lot of folks enjoying our games this year and sharing pictures and uplifting photos and stuff, and I appreciate it, and I know everyone on the team really appreciates it, and our hearts go out to people that have been suffering and just such a challenge this year. For Pencil First Games, our existing line has continued to do well. Lots of folks enjoying Herbaceous, Sunset Over Water, Sprouts, Heroes Welcome, and Skulk Hollow. Herbaceous this year was in German and Dutch and a number of other languages. And in general, they've continued to entertain and provide fun to folks. I think a lot of people want to be playing family games, two-player games, games that have solo, and so all those titles have done it. But so these already existed heading into 2020, but I want to mention it, and we'll perhaps come back to a few as we go. This year we released the 100 Torii, designed by Scott Caputo, amazing art by Vincent Dutrade, and actually this game launched right as everyone was heading into lockdown, and what was interesting is we had to, it actually was like stores had bought it, but the factory, or not the factory, the warehouse that was shipping them shut down for like whatever it was, 6 weeks, 6 weeks. And actually, the 100 Torii had a pretty rough launch, and it was a challenge for the team. Ultimately, it did go to stores, and right now we have a limited number left. But it was a bit of a bumpy coming, out into this crazy world for the 100 Torii, but it's still beautiful. It's been well received, and highly recommended. And we will be coming back to this one as well. But so this came out sort of in February, sort of in March, sort of in April. Shipped to backers, obviously. And then later on in the year, Liftoff, Get Me Off This Planet, Expanded Deluxe Edition came out. Now, for those who are not aware, this was actually Pencil First Games' very first Kickstarter, the original edition. And so we did two things. We created this upgrade kit, and the upgrade kit went out to backers, and it's just all the new stuff, and it can fit in their old box and such. And actually, this didn't go to retail, but if you are somebody who has the original and just wants to get the stuff, you can find this at shop.pencilfirstgames, or just go to pencilfirstgames.com and click and go to the shop and go to buy it. But we do still have a small number of these available for those who are interested. But generally, it's just been a thrill to get Liftoff back. This is Pencil First Games prides itself in the quality of the product and the inserts and the componentry. This is the best we've ever done. This is incredible. And it's just a really awesome family weight game. And I didn't print a ton of these to market because it's sort of an older game and we did the upgrade kits. But this is in retail. It launched in October. And so this year we launched two titles, Liftoff, Get Me Off This Planet, and the 100 Torii. And, it's super exciting. This version of Liftoff has been in development since the original. And it was just about finding the right time to do it again, and just absolutely thrilled with how it came out, and super excited. But this is all the stuff that most people maybe have heard about or whatever, but this is the stuff that exists today. Let's talk about some of the new stuff. So we had two Kickstarters last year. One was for the Whatnot Cabinet. Now this is, and I've got some stuff back here we'll get to in a second, but this is, this launched on Kickstarter in 2020. And this is the actual print-proof copy. So this is the final edition. They take one off. I take a look, make sure everything works, and then I give them a thumbs up. So this is, don't knock everything off. Let's see if I can do this in a way. We have these super cool pawns in here. It's not really meant to be open this way. And it has the bag and all the incredible tiles. This is Beth Sobel, designed by Steve Finn, single player Keith Mateka, all that good stuff. So super excited about Whatnot Cabinet. Going to backers as soon as we can, and then going to be in retail. And so, but this is that print proof. What's going on here? There we go. And so this should be, this is sort of a Q1, Q2, heading to backers and heading to retails, depending on how everything goes. So this is a 2021 release. And then also looking into 2021, so this is the first half, we also have Herbaceous Pocket. Super excited about this. This is the small edition of Herbaceous, and these are the amazing, incredible small. Look at the little bay leaf. Just super excited about this one. Really came out well. So this will be, it's actually ahead of schedule right now, which is exciting, but this should be, I think, first half of next year, ready for people to check out and go into backers and such. So these two games have Kickstarters, have Kickstarter pages. So, but wait, there's other things. So what are the new things coming in 2021? What are the new Kickstarters? I don't have that much stuff in front of me, but I will show you with images and stuff as I talk about them. So one Kickstarter is we are doing an expansion for the 100 Torii. It's called Diverging Paths. And it isn't a standalone. It's an expansion that needs the base game. But it adds some new characters. It also adds different locations that you can go to and expand. And they all have different, sort of 4 different modules you can play. Really incredible design by Skulk, more work from Vincent. And I think it really fills out and adds a lot of depth and fun replayability, which I think this game also already has in spades. But each one gives the game a different vibe, and you can play with one, or you can bring all the locations in together. And I like the new characters, the Pilgrim and the Gambler. And we're going to get all sorts of fun things in there. So super excited for that. Then, also, in terms of sequels or follow-ons, we have Maul Peak. I just have these right now. I'm going to show images on screen, but we got this spider. Maul Peak is a standalone sequel to Skulk Hollow, right? But instead of the Foxens, you're the bears. And the bears work totally different than the Foxen. And then instead of those guardians, you have 4 new guardians. Assuming all the stretch goals work out, but you know, Skulk Hollow's done really well, so I'm bullish. But you have those guardians, but it's fully mix and matchable. So you can take the bears and fight the old guardians, or take the Foxen and fight the new guardians. And like we've been doing all the play testing, like the Matrix is crazy. But even more, we also have added it so that you can have, we haven't named yet, whether it's Battle Royale, whatever, 2-on-2, 2 Guardians versus Foxen and Bears insanity. It's super cool, and it's just been such a pleasure to work in this universe, work with this game. The design by Keith is fantastic, artwork by Dustin's fantastic, and just, you know, it's so fun to work on a game where like you're playtesting and prototyping and working on, and you're like, oh yeah, I love this game. This is great. Like, oh, the spider guy, he feels like a spider, and he's webbing and like draining power, like, and then you have the giant 4-headed quagga, and like, it's just so cool and super fun. And so it's taken a while, but we're working really hard, and I'm confident that the execution is going to be on par, superior even, than Skulk Hollow, which is like, as you know, lifted up the bar a little bit, but Skulk Hollow is pretty amazing. So that's Maul Peak, and I just showed you those graphics. So we talked about Torii, Diverging Paths. We've talked about Skulk Hollow. So these are games I'm expecting to Kickstarter next year. Oh, also, on the Torii side, most people aren't going to know what this is. I mean, they'll know that that's Mario, but they're not going to know what this box is. But some people will. If you didn't know, 100 years ago, Nintendo printed these game cards. And these game cards are called Hanafuda cards. And these are like, they're popular in Japan and Korea, I mean, a long time ago, but still to some degree. And these cards are like it's a 4 cards, it's a 48 card deck, 12 suits of 4. And it plays, there are a couple different games you can play, but it's a card game that I've always loved. And as we were, and apparently a lot of other people enjoy it, and it's not poker, but it's sort of like a traditional game. And these cards are not, they're not like playing cards. They're like thicker, very thick stock, and they're folded over. But I love Hanafuda. I love the game. I did a big review of it a long time ago. Vincent Dutrait's into it. And so what we decided to do is we are going to make a Hanafuda deck with Torii. It'll probably be an add-on, because apparently these are crazy expensive. You can actually, no joke, you can still get quotes from these from Nintendo. Can't afford it, but you can get quotes from Nintendo for these things. But they're like way more expensive than just a standard deck of cards. But we're going to figure it out. And we're going to have this awesome little Hanafuda deck. Which I'm just, it's just the kind of thing for me that is what makes making games exciting and just thinking of neat things to do. And so anyway, so this will likely be in conjunction with the Torii as an add-on or something to cover off on shipping and that kind of thing. But super excited about it. More to come. And so the next game I'll show some art from is Floriferous, which is designed by Steve Finn, and it's a light card game. It's going to be in this size box. Has this incredible watercolor art. I'll show it to you from Clementine. And it just plays fast and light, and Herbaceous is like super streamlined and simple. I can't say it's like a little bit between Herbaceous and Sunset Over Water, maybe. Like Herbaceous is really the super lightest game. But it's beautiful and fun and engaging, and I'm just super excited to be bringing another Steve Finn. Keith Matejka's doing the solo design, all that good stuff. So super excited. And then lastly, starting, as I've mentioned to a few folks, I'm experimenting with what it might be to have Sunset Over Water Pocket Edition. This one's harder than Herbaceous. We're working on like, hey, what would it be to read these, read the icons? Can we make sure it works? I'm not 100% convinced it works yet. I think it does. I mean, the turn cards were already the smaller size. But we're spending the time to like extend the UI and mess with things to make sure it works. If it does, we'll also do that. I don't know if this is going to fit into next year. Next year is going to be busy, but excited. And just excited to be making all these fun games and components and building on different titles and expanding, all these universes and working on even more stuff, but not going to land next year. But so yeah, 2020 was crazy, but still releasing titles, still seeing support from fans and folks who love what we're doing, and we sincerely appreciate it. And it's really like, the Pentaverse Games has been around for 5-6 years now. All of these titles, and there's more behind me, right? But all of these were Kickstarters. All of these, would not be possible, would not be as great as they are without support from backers, and then people enjoying it and them growing at retail. And that's what's allowed us to, expand them, redo reprints, get them into more hands, bring along the joy. And so I hope you enjoy the games we've done. If you haven't checked out Torii or Liftoff from this year, please do, or any of the other titles, of course. And, looking forward to the Whatnot Cabinet, Herbaceous, front half of the year. Hopefully we can get one of those other Kickstarters in early enough that we can get one more to backers in 2021, and then the other couple titles will probably roll in after that, depending on what they get done. But I'll put in some other art if I hadn't already, but I hope you thought it was cool. And last thing, December 5th, we are going to have a Pencil First Game celebration. We're just gonna have a cool game day. We're gonna play games, show games, demo games, and I'm gonna see if I can get the other designers involved, and hopefully everyone will have a lot of fun. So that should have been in the newsletter we sent out that was pointing to this. But we're just trying to have some fun, and trying to have some fun when we can't ever get everyone in the room together. So anyway, thanks for watching.